in that moment, I think Becky looked at me almost like, what are you doing? And it just made me think, I've really hit a low here. Like this is not what I had pictured when it came to digital nomadism and location independence. So,
and she's asked, what was your biggest failure?
yeah, interesting. It was funny. We were talking about this just offline before we started recording the podcast, actually. And currently at the moment, I'm sitting in a business center at the apartment complex in Mexico where I'm living at the moment. And it reminded me like the makeshift setup I have here with like the camera balancing on, a kind of a pot above the laptop. Reminded me of when I was in Bali, and it was a few years ago, and we'd hit some financial troubles with my e-commerce business where I'd taken my eye off the accounting. I hadn't set aside the correct amount of funds for the VAT that was going to be due that quarter, or the corporation tax. I was kind of just like seeing money go into the account, money go out, hoping that it would all balance out. And it often doesn't when you take your eye off the ball like that. And I got to the point where we had pretty much zero in there, and we had suppliers calling us saying, okay, we need that 20 grand payment now. And me just thinking, well, I don't have it. I don't know what to say to them. And that level of anxiety, that insomnia that I experienced for the first time ever was such a low for me. And it made me realize, firstly, how much I'd tied my identity to the success or failure of my business, which was a mistake. I should have separated those two more. But also it just taught me so much about how to run a successful business. And there was a moment where I was on a conference call, or on like a call, I think, with the accountant and one of the suppliers, trying to figure out payment terms and how I could pay them back. And I was in a hostel kind of hotel in Bali, and they didn't have a desk in the room. So I had to pull out this mini fridge that was like under the desk, and it was this like boiling hot mini fridge that was like rumbling with like a motor in it. And I had to sit to kind of like straddle this mini fridge with my laptop like perched up by the TV and get on this Zoom call. And I just in that moment, I think Becky looked at me almost like, what are you doing? And it just made me think, I've really hit a low here. Like this is not what I had pictured when it came to digital nomadism and location independence. So fortunately, we managed to get out, and we managed to pay the supplier back over time. And since then, that was probably the best lesson I've ever learned in business, because I've not taken my eye off the finances since then. So it was a great lesson. But yeah, probably being 20K in debt very early in my business was a big failure of mine, and something that I make very sure to encourage anyone who follows our method now never gets into a situation by following the tracker templates that we lay out.
And failure is the best teacher, as is so often said. So I love that question, because it really dives into some of the biggest lessons that you've learned as well. So thanks for that quick question, Terran.